we back. Yo, chat. Dylan, how's the stream looking? Yo, can I get an update right now on how the chat is looking? Yo, what about the sub goal, bro? Can we not see the sub goal? W chat, yes sir. Yo, how's the chat looking, yo? Yo, Dylan, can you hop on chat real quick? Yo, chat's working, yo. Dylan, can you hop on the stream, please? Yo. What's up, y'all? Alright, so welcome everybody. Today we will be going to today we're gonna be doing some SAT prep. You know what I'm saying? Dylan will be joining us on stream very shortly, so W in the chat for Dylan. Let's call him up real quick. Dylan, say hi to chat.
Hello?
Say hi to chat real quick.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Okay, so here we go. Here's how this is gonna go. So basically, alright, y'all. Welcome back to the stream. Yep, this is Dylan here. Chat, welcome back. Yes, sir. Okay, so um, this is gonna go very simply, right? What we're gonna do is we're gonna essentially practice some SAT English questions, and yeah, go from there. So if you would like to donate, huh?
We can barely hear you.
Oh, really? Is this better? Chat, is this better? Oh, really? Is this better? Chat, is this better? I think it is.
I'm at like 100 volume and I can barely hear you.
Really? Can you still barely hear me?
Turn up your desktop audio.
Really? Is this better? All right. So, chat. Basically, today I'm gonna walk y'all through some SAT English questions, and yeah, we'll be going from there. So, Dylan, what do you know about the SAT?
SAT is comprised of two sections, the reading and the math section.
That's great. So, that's 100% correct, right? What we want to focus on today is making sure that we have our reading, especially our craft and structure down, so that when we're in the game, when we're sitting in front of the SAT, we can get those questions correct, right? So, um, I want to first of all thank my sponsor of today's video. If I could just expand my screen, chat. If y'all want to look back at the stream, um, I want to thank my sponsor today, Acely. Right, Acely is a all-in-one SAT prep tool using artificial intelligence to get y'all ready for the SAT. Um, it has multiple features, including 20 different mock exams that you can take before your first SAT. If you guys want to use my code DAREZBEAR in the description, you are able to use it and get a $10 discount on your first purchase. So thank you again to Acely for sponsoring this stream. I want to thank Lunar Client as well for sponsoring. Lunar Client is an all-in-one Minecraft application that allows you to edit multitude of different features on your Minecraft. You can adjust your FPS. It gives you that frames per second boost that you can then use to enhance your gameplay. Thank you again to Lunar Client for sponsoring this stream, and let's get back to it. Let me know, chat, if you have any concerns, questions. Um, let's get into it. So, Dylan, let's talk about SAT real quick, right? How do you answer a question correct, right? What do you look? What exactly is needed to answer a question correctly, Dylan? Do you want to give us some insight on that? Dylan, chat.
Absolutely.
Are we good? Dylan, are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Can you give us some tips?
Yeah, so you first want to look at the question
Right.
before you read the passage.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal work. Right. So we want to look at the question for exactly like what Dylan just said, right? Let's look at some questions, shall we? Okay, so here we go. We have 400 questions that we can go through, and let's start off with this first one. Okay. Chat, give me 1 second. I'm gonna get some glasses and get some water, and then we'll be right back. Thank you, chat.
Our chat.
Dylan, if you want to entertain them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yo, Darren, what you doing here? You want to say something to the chat? All right, guys. See what's about to happen. All right, chat. I'm back. This time from this monitor. We're gonna get started here. Let's move here. All right. Okay. So let's open this up. Hold on, he's back.
What are we doing, chat?
We'll be right back.
Are you on stream, bro? Dylan, you want to take Pixie out first? Yeah. Alright, for sure. We will be right back. I appreciate y'all's patience. Oh, we got 6 people watching, bro. Please give us a second. How's y'all's days going, bro? How's y'all's days going?
Dang, all y'all left?
Alright, y'all, welcome back to the stream. We will get started right now. Okay, so before we actually begin the SAT, I wanna give y'all a little bit of insight on how to approach these questions, right? So, as an avid SAT taker, what you want to focus on is essentially making sure that you get the easy questions, the money in the bank questions correct, and then you move on to the harder, more reading oriented questions that you can then approach with your full thinking. So the SAT is like a game, right? You know, when you play Valorant, when you play Tetris, right? You need to go in with a strategy, and it's the same thing with the SAT. So let's take a look at some practice questions, shall we? All right. So, welcome, guys, again to all the new viewers. Today we will be doing some free SAT prep for y'all. As someone who has scored pretty high on the SAT, I just want to make sure y'all have the resources needed to do well on this exam and assist your future endeavors. Let's begin. Okay, so let me switch my screen real quick. Okay, so today we'll be focusing mainly on information ideas. This is a really important section in the SAT, and I just want to make sure y'all have the resources needed to do well on this section. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a bunch of these, and we'll be just going through some of them Just making sure that y'all have a good understanding of what the SAT requires, right? So Dylan here will be checking our answers for us, and we'll be going question by question, alternating. So here we go. I think I like this. I do like this format better. Okay, so here we go. This is going to be called SAT Question Bank 1. And then Dylan, I'm going to send you the answers real quick. Just so you can have a quick understanding of, what exactly we're dealing with. So Dylan, here we go. Did you get the answers, Dylan? Can I get a verbal response, please? Dylan, can I get a verbal response that you received the questions? We good?
I've received it.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right, y'all. Here we go. So I'm going to be opening this, right? Sorry guys for the delay. Obviously this isn't what we intended, but what Dylan's gonna do is help us check our answers. So yeah, let's start off with number 1. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna stay quiet and then let y'all think through it before I come in with my approach and how I would answer the question. Can y'all see my screen, by the way? Y'all cannot see my screen. Alright, here we go. Alright. Do we have our answer? This one's pretty easy. Dylan, can you please check the answer for number 1? Is the answer A?
The answer is A.
That's great. So
Can you explain to the audience how you got to that answer?
yeah, of course. So looking at the passage, right? We wanna just first of all read the first the description. See if it gives us any of that insight that we need to answer the question. So we can see Edgar Allan Poe, Lander's Cottage. Not really much information, right? So what that means is we need to now look at the question. Which choice best states the main idea? These are the 2 words I'm looking at. Main idea, right? So once I see these 2 words, I'm looking at what's the main idea? What is this little passage about? So we read it during pedestrian trip, River Counties, New York, day decline, embarrass, road, pursuing, land, undulated. Don't know what that means, but I don't need to because I can continue to read. Path, last hour, wound, confusedly, effort, keep valley, no longer new, direction, sweet village, determined, stop for the night. So we can already see using these words like embarrassed, undulated, confusedly. These words portray a negative connotation, and what that means is what we're gonna do to infer the main idea of the text is that this is probably going to be something negative. So let's look through the answers from DTA. So the narrator explains the difficulties. Okay, this one could be true, sure. Let's just look at the next ones. Describes long trip, frequently visited. Okay. This one's probably not true. I didn't really see anything about frequently visited. Let's look at B. Fond memories, beautiful river counties. So this is what I'm talking about with the negative connotation. This is clearly incorrect, right? We're not looking at something positive. We're not looking at something beautiful. This is negative. So B is automatically eliminated first look. A looks, it might be right. So let's narrow it down to A, C, and D, right? If we look at the land, the passage, it doesn't really talk about anything frequently, right? So it just talks about little journey. I wouldn't say C is correct. Let's look at D and A now. Difficulties encountered and
It looks like there was a collab with Bob Ross on Fortnite.
What? Yo, chat, what is he saying? You good, Mutt? You good, Mutt? Alright, so when we're looking at A and D, he doesn't really talk about how he overcame them. He's kind of just complaining, right? There's not really an optimistic outlook or a positive connotation. So I'm gonna say the answer is A. Dylan, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I think you had a great analysis.
For sure. All right, Dylan, the next question's all you.
All right.
So I'm gonna set a 1 minute timer on the clock.
Wait, hold on. I need to pull up the stream. All right, can we move the face cam? The viewers cannot oh yeah. Darren. You need to move the face cam. We can't see the answer choices.
Oh, my fault. My fault. Does this work? Wait, does this work? Dylan, are we good now? It has been a minute. So this is some
I literally just saw the question.
Okay. For sure, man. Chat, let me know if y'all have any questions at all. I will be checking the chat concurrently. So if you guys have any questions, I want y'all to feel free to let me know. I'd be happy to answer anything that y'all have. All right. Are we good? Are we good, Dylan?
Yeah.
All right. So, for those of you guys who just joined, basically how we're gonna do this little SAT session is we're gonna basically present the question for y'all up here, and then you guys have a chance to look at it, come up with the answer, and then we'll check it with our expert analysis. So, Dylan, what answer did you get?
I got A.
You got A. Okay, can you help us check the answer, please, for that?
Yeah. Yeah, it is correct.
All right. So, Dylan, can you give us a little explanation of why you chose A as your answer, please?
So the text clearly talks about the Wagner crystal, and this crystal has been used as evidence to find um there's been evidence that has been found that dates the existence of the Wagner crystal. As we can see, the first visual confirmation of the Wagner crystal.
Right, right. So, um, right here we see that, you know, definitive evidence. We can trace that directly back to the text. Seeing that the the exact the existence containing, you know, entirely electrons in a honeycomb like shell. Um, Captured an image of one, right? These are all terms pointing to A as the correct answer. So A is correct. Thank y'all for, joining the chat again. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. um, you know we are running this for a couple of hours, so if y'all have any questions, feel free to check in with the chat, and we will feel free to answer any questions that y'all may have. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. This is me now.
Move your face cam.
Yes, sir. Okay, so do we have an answer? Do we have an answer, guys? Are we good? Can someone in the chat just confirm? Anyone in the chat want to jump in? This is a group learning, so if y'all have any questions, just feel free to jump in at this time. All right, so welcome to the chat. We currently have 5 viewers. Just for those who just joined, we're doing a quick little SAT prep session for y'all, where we're going to be reviewing some English and writing questions. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna jump in. Um, you know, let's look at the question. So it says, in the early, some farmers' agricultural techniques, people centuries earlier with those farmers, they had actually seen them firsthand. So, um, bearing the possibility of several farmers of same era independently developing techniques that that they had already invented. We're looking at, because these group of people were already utilizing these techniques that these Haudenosaunee people had already invented. The best answer here, I believe, is D, right? So we're looking at D here. Dylan, can you help us check the answer, please? We're looking at question 3.
The answer is A.
Oh, so it's actually A. Okay, so we're looking at here, those farmers learn the techniques for people who are more directly influenced by Haudenosaunee practices. So the reason why D is wrong, actually, so this is actually a mistake. I thought that, we're looking at same era developing techniques that had already invented. I'm thinking that, we're looking at these benefits that the Haudenosaunee people had, but the answer is A. So those farmers learn techniques from people who are directly influenced by the Haudenosaunee practice. So the reason why this is correct is because we're looking at, I mean, we're looking at here, this is basically the same thing as question A, but it adds on that other people were more influenced. There were people who were more directly influenced by the Haudenosaunee practices. So that's the answer, A. Feel free to jump in if you guys have any questions right now. Okay, so are we good? Are we good with this question? Yeah? All right, let's move on to the next question then. Okay, Dylan, can you take a look at this and then let me know what your thoughts are? Dylan, I think you're muted.
All right. Okay. Choice A does not reflect the text. So we can rule that out. It doesn't talk about how people like tolerate him, so it doesn't really. It's not A. That he'll divert the modes of confidence. It could be B. Let's look at the other two options. Okay, C is not correct. The text actually says the opposite of this answer choice.
Okay, Dylan, what about D?
It's probably not D. It doesn't talk about his professional expertise. I'm leaning towards B here. Chat, what do you think?
I think we're good. Yeah. I mean, I 100% agree. You know, we're talking about this doctor. Someone. Right. Yeah, that's correct. Thank you, Natalia. Yes, I do think it's B as well. You know, we're looking at you know how this doctor has this hat, and this hat is really, um, you know, it rises high. It makes him look like whatever it is, but you know it's not like people, it's not like he will, I guess, give away his secrets. So that's what we're looking at here. Few feel consider that he'll divulge their confidences or give out their secrets, right? That's what this phrase is saying. Great. Okay, so let's continue here with the next passage. Here we go. Dylan, how are we looking on the screen? Is it too small?
Yeah,
It is. Okay.
difficult to read.
Okay, so let me reformat this for y'all, just so we can do good. Okay, so here we go. Let's see if I can. Maybe we can duplicate this. Is there any way I could duplicate? No. Okay, so I wish I could duplicate it, but I guess we will just look at the question first, and then. So we're looking at the graph, okay, and then we can look at the excerpt real quick, and then I can scroll down for y'all.
Zoom in a little more.
And for those of you guys who just joined, welcome to our free SAT prep stream. Today we're going to be focusing on the information and details section of the reading and writing portion of the digital SAT. My name is Darren, and my partner here, Dylan, will be assisting me in this review prep. Okay, so this is the graph, and here we go. Okay, so here's the graph again. Okay, and here is the question. X Bros for joining the chat. It's great to have y'all here. If you guys need me to scroll up, just feel free to let me know. But I'm gonna give y'all around 30 more seconds, and then we will go on to the correct answer. Okay, so here we go. The answer here is, let's just walk through the problem. So to understand how expressions of anger in review affect readers of those reviews, this scholar measures participants' responses to 3 versions of the same negative review: control review, expressing no anger, high degree of anger, low degree of anger, right? That's what the first part of the question is saying. Reviewing the data concludes mere presence of anger in a review may not negatively affect readers' perceptions, but high degree does worsen the perception. Very simple. So let's go through the options here, right? Compared with participants who saw the low anger review, participants who saw the high anger review rate the review as less helpful, and a less positive attitude towards the reviewed product. Yes, this appears to be true. No, it doesn't appear to be true, right? We're looking at this. If we're looking at the helpfulness of the review itself, it looks to be higher than the lower. Oh no, sorry. The higher does seem to be, the high anger seems to be higher than the low anger when we're looking at the attitude. So option D is already automatically false, right? We're looking at C now. Participants who saw the low anger review as slightly more helpful than participants who saw the control review did. This isn't necessarily true. Again, we're looking at, the low anger, it does appear to be a little bit more positive, but the second statement towards the review product was slightly worse when saw the low review when than the no anger review. So that's not exactly what the question is we're focusing on here. We see that the point here is that the mere presence in a review may not negatively affect the reader's perception of the review, but high anger. So we're basically just comparing high to negative. So if it doesn't have to do with that, we're not going to choose that answer. We're looking at B here. Compared with participants who saw the low anger review rated the review as slightly more helpful, whereas participants who saw the high anger review rated the review as less helpful. So yeah, I think that's the correct answer here. We're comparing a low anger review to high anger review, and that's just how the question is directly worded, and yeah, that is the correct answer, it looks like. Okay, so let's look at the next question now. Okay, so this one is about Henry VIII. I will be taking over. So from now on, I'm just gonna quickly go through a little timer just so we could get things moving. So Henry VIII, split Catholic Church, head of the Catholic Church of England, Pope Clement VII refused annul marriage to Catherine of Aragon. 2 years later, introduced policy titled Dissolution of the Monasteries. 1540, closure of all Catholic England, confiscation, estates, enactment, policy, motivated, perceived financial opportunities. Okay. So, we read the passage. I already read the question beforehand, but, I didn't say that. So, which one best supports it, right? So, we're looking at a quote here that technically supports what the claim is talking about. And to summarize the claim, we're talking about Pope Clement VII denying Henry VIII's annulment from his wife, and he then introduced this new monastery that confiscated the estates, and which gave him money. So let's look at the options here, right? Which option here looks like the correct answer? So 1535 commission value of, okay, so 1536 pilgrimage, several economic motives. Okay, so this one directly discusses the economic motives, but again, this could be a little trap. So let's read it a little bit more closely. Revolt known as the Pilgrimage of Grace, several economic motives. High food prices due to a poor harvest, dissolution, which closed reliable sources of food and shelter for many, rents and taxes, not that high, but predatory. Okay, so this one directly talks about, financial opportunities, right? Let's look at the other options. 1535, commission value of church holdings. Okay, so this one's not really, again, we're looking at this phrase, perceived financial opportunities. So that's what we need to be focusing on here when we're talking about, this pilgrimage. So we're looking at, see here, contemporary dissolution. Again, this one, it does talk about the dissolution of the monasteries, but we're not really discussing how these how the policies are motivated by financial opportunities. That's what we're looking for here. A, dissolution, monks. So yeah, the answer here would be D, right? We're looking at this closure of different places, different places known as the monasteries, and then as well as the rents and taxes that were high. So D is the correct answer here. Okay. Unfortunately, y'all, we will have to end the stream. Obviously, we want to continue this this little segment of SAT prep. I hope y'all did enjoy. We will continue this a little bit later today, but I just want to let y'all know, thank you guys for tuning in to SAT prep for reading and writing. So this is something that I want y'all to take away as something that's helpful. So yeah, please. Yeah, so we're looking at possibly if we're looking at Pacific Standard Time, we're looking at around I would say around 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So thank you guys again for tuning in to today's stream. We will be continuing with our digital SAT for the math section at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So again, thank y'all for tuning in, and we hope to see y'all later. And get your friends on, invite them to join, and let's get that dream score of y'all with the SAT. Thank you guys for tuning in.